What up? Welcome back to the Tomahawk Talk Pod. As always, I am your host, Jeb Mays. With me, as always, we have Ryan and Jose and Ben. We have another special guest with us, Mr. Grant Holmes. How are you doing?
Doing well. How are you guys?
Great.
Doing well.
Good.
So you're down in Florida. Baseball's getting ready to start back. What's one thing, a couple things you worked on this off season?
You know, mostly just, trying to build up, because supposedly, they're stretching me out. So, just building up, being able to, I guess, go multiple innings, keep my legs under me for a long period of time. And yeah, I mean, that was pretty much it. Just bulking up the bullpens and, throwing more pitches than I usually do.
Good deal. Good deal. So you mentioned bulking up your innings. You went from long man to starter, back to long man, back to starter, kind of last year. What was one challenge and something that was easy doing those multiple transitions last year?
Um, I wouldn't necessarily say anything was easy, because the guys in the big leagues they're really good. Uh, but I guess the more challenging thing was uh, not knowing what I was gonna do. But then again, I think that not knowing is what helped me because I didn't have to really think about it much. It was more of like all right, you tell me what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna go out there and do it. So it was like I didn't have much time to think about it. Like the last game of the season, just all right, you're gonna start. All right, well, here we go. We got 30 minutes before the game starts.
Does that actually make it does that make it easier on you mentally, kind of not knowing what's ahead, or would you rather know?
As of last year, I would have rather it not, just not knowing. I would have, but like coming into this year, if they're going to tell me I'm going to start, like me working up to being a starter, knowing that I'm going to start would be, I think, beneficial. So I could, build up to where I need to be and do what I need to be or do what I need to do to perform to my best ability.
You had 17, I think it was 17 or 10 starts. Something I'm looking at Baseball Reference right here. I'm getting my numbers mixed up. Looks like 10. Um and then you had, a bunch of other relief appearances last year, but as far as, coming up to the major leagues, believe your starts were a little bit more productive than the relief appearances. Is that something that you just, feel more comfortable doing overall, no matter what the situation is, or do you feel better coming out of the bullpen, adrenaline rush and all that kind of stuff?
You know, I started my career as a starter. I've been a starter, for as long as I can remember,
Hmm.
up until 22, and I started throwing out of the bullpen a little bit. But I mean, I feel like it's all the same, honestly. You try to go out there and you try to get the guys out.
Hey,
And
that's
if
the
you
name
get
of
them
the
out
game.
quick, you go deep in the game. If you don't get them out quick, you're going to come out early in the game. So
Right.
I feel like it's all the same, and just like the preparation is a bit different, So it's if you got to face a guy 3 times in one night, you got to kind of have a game plan for that instead of going in and throwing 1.2 innings, and letting
Right.
the back end of the bullpen come in and finish out the game.
Were you excited when you got the notification, or when you got told that, hey, we need you to stretch yourself out and get prepared for this upcoming season because we're gonna need you to possibly start?
Absolutely. It was kind of crazy, that I made my debut with the Braves as a reliever, and now I could possibly be a starter for the Braves, and it's pretty cool, growing up a Braves fan. It's pretty much it's a dream come true. Honestly, it is. It's surreal, and whatever happens. I
you
don't care
uh
starting or relieving.
Well, you were drafted obviously in the first round by the Dodgers in 2014. And I guess two-part question here. Um, what was it like hearing your name get called in the first round? Because I mean, that's got to be like freaking awesome to hear.
Absolutely.
But also, I guess part two would be like, what is something that the Braves organization has been able to bring out of you in order to help you succeed that, you know, the Dodgers and the Athletics, you know, weren't necessarily helping you along with, if that makes sense.
You know, like when I got drafted, it was, or when they called my name, I was at the studio with, I think there was probably 6 or 7 of us guys there, and you know, it was pretty special. You know, I had my family there, I had my agent, you know, my travel ball coach, my strength trainer, and a couple other friends. So it was pretty cool experience. And if I'm not mistaken, it was Charlie Huff and Tommy Lasorda that was there for the Dodgers. So, you know, just sitting next to them and talking to them.
Yeah.
First time ever meeting them, you know, it's 2 legends. So
Right.
that was pretty cool as well. And know about what the Braves have done for me compared to the other people. It's I feel like they've kind of let me be who I am.
Mhm.
Obviously, we added the slider back in 20. When was it? In 22, when the Braves signed me to a minor league deal after I got released by the A's, and started throwing, and it was pretty effective. You know, I was throwing it pretty hard, and that off season, I worked with it a little bit more and got it, you know, to where I wanted it. Wasn't as hard, but it was, you know, more depthy, and
Mhm.
you know, I feel like that's the biggest thing. That was the biggest thing for me,
Okay.
having that slider added to my repertoire. You know, it was, you know, I think it's gonna help me, and it has helped me pitch at the big level.
Who was your favorite Braves player growing up?
Oh man, I had a few. Um,
So do we.
you know, Smoltz, obviously. I was a big Rafael Furcal fan. Um, Chipper, obviously,
Yeah.
and Andrew Jones. You know, the Jones brothers.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
I grew up watching actually Freddie Freeman and Jason Hayward play at Myrtle Beach Pelican Stadium.
Yeah.
So it was right down the road. And you know, honestly, anybody that was really good for in my life, which they had a lot.
uh, Atlanta, I mean, we hear about the clubhouse being pretty close knit. Who were some of the guys that kind of reached out, or like once you first got the call, that you kind of cling to, and kind of took you under their wing?
Um, I would say in the bullpen, you know, it was probably Chavi and Dylan Lee. You know, because you know Chavi is pretty much a coach. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's everything. You know, down there.
Oh,
He
yeah.
can pitch, coach. He'll do anything for you. So I think him he kind of really took me under his wing, and you know had some guidance references for me, you know, and what to do, what not to do, and things like that.
Over under, setting it at July. Do you think Jesse Chavez finds his way back to Atlanta before July, or like right at the trade deadline?
You know, it's funny. I mean, I heard some guys talking about it today. I feel like it's going to be before July or June.
How's the
It
vibe
might be
down there?
before spring training ends.
Right? It could be.
How's the vibe down there? Is everybody pretty loose, getting back?
Yeah,
I'm guessing
yeah. I
happy
mean,
to be back.
not everybody's here yet. I think most of the people flew in today. And I got out of there probably around 11 o'clock. So maybe some guys came in afterwards. So, but yeah, seems to be, you know, pretty excited, especially with Acuna and Strider coming back
Oh,
sooner than expected. You know, so I believe it's going to be a really good season.
Grant, take me through your normal routine on a spring training day.
Normal routine. We gotta wake up early, which I don't like doing. Usually wake up around anywhere from 7 to 7:30. Get there, around right now like 8:30 in that range, and sit down, get dressed, go in and eat breakfast. After that, go to the weight room, start warming up, and go out and play catch with somebody that needs to play catch. For as of right now, and when the actual spring training starts, it's usually about the same schedule, maybe just a little bit earlier. And also you got PFPs and stuff like that whenever that starts, and then come in and got to work out, eat some lunch, shower, and head home. Then do whatever you want.
Heck yeah.
You're
So
pretty. You're
speaking of
pretty. Jose, go ahead.
so speaking of heading home after practice, do you have any sort of like post game meals that you have go to?
Go to for me, I usually just eat what's at the field, honestly. Or either if there's not something I'd like, it's either some kind of poke bowl or sushi or some kind of. I'm a big pad thai guy, so that
So
or
you're a man of
some kind of
culture, is what I'm hearing.
steakhouse or something.
Not
You're
gonna
a
lie,
man of culture, is what I'm hearing, man.
I didn't see you being a pad thai kind of guy, but
Oh, I love it. I love it.
So, Grant, you seem like you're pretty soft spoken. What do you think and kind of make of all the Kenny Powers comps?
I think it's hilarious. uh, it's good, clean fun. Well, I guess it's probably not clean, but it's good fun. Yeah. But
What you don't see yourself doing air thrusts on the mound after striking somebody out?
I don't see myself doing that. I wish I could, but that's just not who I am.
Come
I
on,
mean,
man.
with the state of baseball, you probably could if you wanted
Yeah.
to, like all the bat flips and everything. I mean, who's to say you couldn't just start air thrusting, in the middle of striking somebody out?
I don't think my family would like that too much.
What is your take on bat flips? I know a lot of pitchers don't like it. I know a lot of pitchers are kind of leaning more towards, hey, if you hit it that far, like props to you.
I'm more up that alley, if you barely get over the fence and you're bat flipping, I'm not gonna like it too much. But if you hit it 450 feet, you can do whatever you want. Just don't do nothing to me.
Yeah.
I think my favorite is when guys bat flip and then it's just like fly out to the warning track. It's like,
Yeah.
come on now, you didn't get all of that one. You're still over here bat flipping.
Yeah.
Come on.
I feel like we should be able to do something to them if they do that.
Air
That's what I'm
thrusting
saying,
on the
man.
mound.
Air thrusting on the mound.
You gotta do that one time, just one time. Somebody flies out of the warning track, pins it, and you're just air thrusting them all the way back to the dugout.
I don't know if the front office would like that, and I wouldn't blame them.
Hey, I wouldn't either.
That'd be great entertainment, though.
Who's one of your favorite strikeouts that you have?
That's a good question. I've never thought about that one. I mean, it'd have to be my first one, a Rosarena. I feel like that at bat, I pretty much played that at bat out in spring training of last year because I struck him out looking with a fastball, and I got him. I think it was 1-2 or something like that this year, and I was like, I wonder if I can sneak another fastball by him. It worked.
What is kind of speaking of pitching, what's one pitch that you wish you could have from a current or former pitcher?
I
mean, you can do multiple.
I wouldn't mind having Barry Zito's curveball.
Yeah, that's
So
a good
true.
pick.
It's a really really slow curveball, and I don't really throw anything slow. So I mean, that would be really. I feel like it would be pretty effective in my arsenal.
Now, when you were in Oakland, did he ever come around?
I didn't see him, no. And I mean, I wouldn't mind having a Mason Miller fastball.
Yeah,
That was going to be that'd be
yeah,
my choice.
Yeah,
Mason
or
Miller
Ben
fastball.
Joyce.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Or
Spencer.
Paul Skeens.
Honestly.
Did you so if Barry Zito didn't go around, who did come around, like former legends? Doesn't have to be necessarily athletics, but Dodgers, Braves, and athletics. I mean, I'm sure Dallas Braden probably came around.
Oh yeah, Dallas was always around because
Yeah, especially,
he was doing the
who else did you have you had a chance to meet?
Dave Stewart.
Ooh.
Got to meet Ricky Henderson. Ricky was around a lot. Dave was around a lot. Who else, man?
Like I said, it doesn't have to necessarily just be athletics.
You know,
could be Dodgers or
clear
Braves.
those years out of my brain, especially this last couple. Yeah, it was Dodgers. Charlie Huff, he was around a lot. Lasorda until he passed.
Mm-hmm.
Koufax?
I never met Koufax, but he was around in big league spring training when I was in minor league spring training. I would have loved to meet him.
Yeah.
There was another guy too that came around. He was Glavin a pitching coach for them? No,
Thing.
not Glavin. It was Maddox. Maddox
Yeah.
helped him out
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't meet him, but I saw him, and I guess he was working with Kershaw in the bullpen or something one year. But I mean, I think those were the main guys. I'm sure there were more legends that came around. I just wasn't paying attention.
Hey, there's never a wrong way to stay in your lane and focus on what you got to do. So
Yep.
I don't blame you.
What's kind of the difference in major league and minor league spring training, and what is kind of some big differences from different organizations, I guess?
I feel like they're pretty much the same, except for there's only one game in big league spring training, unless you have like a split, like a split squad. Obviously, probably the food's a little bit better. Well, with the Braves, I mean the minor league side's unbelievable. So I mean it's pretty much honestly just as good, if not just a tick down on the minor league side. Yeah, I think that's probably about the biggest difference.
I'm not gonna lie. I've always heard that the A's minor league, the entire minors is just kind of not very great. But
it is. I guess Vegas is probably the best spot. And if you're a pitcher, you obviously don't want to be there because the ball it's like pitching on the moon. So, and they have pretty good food in Vegas, because it's obviously Vegas.
Yeah.
I mean, they got all kinds of food around there. The Dodgers were really good about, good food, and they had good affiliates and stuff. But yeah, the A's, until you get to AAA, it's a little rough, especially toxic in Midland.
What was your minor league grind go-to meal?
Oh, man. Honestly, probably just a regular peanut butter and jelly and honey.
I'm not gonna lie, I eat that at least 3 times a week at work, just because it's so easy to make.
In general, right there, baby.
It's so good.
So easy to make. You just put it in a little plastic bag, take it with you, you're good to go.
Exactly.
Grant, you grinded in the minor leagues for a long time, man, and to see you come up and make this the way it is, it's awesome to see. But I know there's got to be some days where you just thought about, how much longer am I going to do this?
Yeah.
Talk to me about
there were
that
a few, but, it was like I've always said, somebody was going to have to take the jersey off my back, and the A's did that, and then the Braves gave me another opportunity, so I was going to, do whatever I had to do to, make it to the top, and thankfully, God willing, I made it.
What was kind of a life lesson that you kind of learned on your journey, kind of going up through the minors and even getting the call? Like something, was there a big wake up call when you got to the bigs, or?
No, it was just, I feel like as much as it sucked, to be grinding for 10 years, whenever that day came to that, if it ever came, to get called up, it was going to be well worth, those sucky days in double A and high A and low A and triple A, just getting my brains beat in Vegas and anywhere in the PCL. It was all like, all those years were worth it. So I could pitch in the big leagues with the Atlanta Braves, so yeah, I mean they sucked. Those years sucked, especially 2018 when I couldn't pitch and I was hurt. I feel like that made me more, headstrong and mentally stronger. And I feel like it made my work ethic just a little bit better as well. And whenever I made it, it made all of that, worth it.
So speaking of injuries, I'm sorry, but
No, go
speaking of
ahead.
injuries, as we all know, the Braves went through a lot last year. What's the mentality of that like as a player standpoint? Because we know Acuna was down most of the year, Strider was down almost all the year. Obviously, they were grinding to get back and are currently going in. But what's that mentality like when you want to go out there and perform?
It's that you feel like the guys that got hurt, they got hurt, and I feel like the Braves are such a good organization. They're probably going to have somebody that's not as good, but somebody that can get the job done right behind them. And I feel like that's what happened last year. Those guys got hurt, and they signed some guys, and they kind of took over the roles of the people that got hurt. And I feel like with us making the playoffs last year with what we had was it says a lot. Um, without Strider, without Acuna, Ozzy for a good bit, Harris for a good bit, and Riley getting hurt there towards the end of the year. It's I feel like we kind of proved a lot that there's still really good things to come. So I think this year's going to be, God willing, everybody stays healthy. I think it's going to be a really special year.
We're excited. What take us through the doubleheader versus the Mets? Ozzy hits the bases clearing double, and then obviously it kind of falls apart after that. Take us through kind of the roller coaster of game one and then on to game two, where they kind of tell you like, hey, like you got the ball and it's a must-win game.
I was that game I was getting ready to go in if we tied it back up because I felt like I was the only one left. That was one of the crazier games I've ever been a part of. With everything that happened in those, I think it was the last 3 innings,
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
Yep.
And we lost that game, and I was like, oh crap. Well, I mean, at least we got Sale coming in the second game. And I feel like that's pretty much we're going to punch our ticket for the playoffs with them pitching. I walk in and I'm like, all right, well, we got to win this next game. And then Granny comes up to me and he's like, hey, so you're going to start this next game. And I'm like,
Wait,
and I was
what?
like, all right, well, I didn't even take my jersey off. I still have my jersey on from the first game, pants on, cleats on. Went in and grabbed some, I don't know what I grabbed, some oatmeal or something. ate that real quick and headed straight to the bullpen to start warming up. I think I had like 25 minutes before the game started. So I just stretched a little bit, hopped out on the mound, started throwing, and went into the dugout. It was crazy.
So
How
kind
that
of
happened,
going.
how
Sorry,
that
go ahead.
happened that little period of time. It's unbelievable.
We lose Ben.
It's not like it froze up on us.
Oh
No,
yeah,
you're
sorry
right.
about that. Kind of going off of that, like just your entire journey and everything going into. I mean, obviously your rookie year, you had a 3.56 ERA. I mean, you were striking out 70 batters in 68.1 innings. You seem pretty level headed. You don't seem like it would phase you too much to go into that. Like, what were you? You took us through your routine, but what were you kind of feeling as they told you were going to make that start?
I wasn't really, I was feeling like I'm pitching against the Mets, so you know, that's the rival, and I wanted to, you know, obviously do the best I could, and it was. I was thinking, with them having won the first game, I was like, I wonder who's going to be in the lineup because I didn't even see the lineup until I got on. Like I faced the guys. I didn't have a lineup to look at or anything. So I didn't even know if Alonso was in there or if Nemo was in there
Yeah.
until I faced them. So I was like, whoever I face, I'm just gonna try to get them out quick, try to go as deep in this game as I can, and I started swinging and missing, and the rest is history. Just went out there and just did what I did. Try to get them to chase some sliders and curveballs in the dirt, and they did. So
Was Murphy behind the dish or was it Darno?
Murphy was behind the dish.
So what was like? Was Murphy just like this is working? We're throwing down signs, or did he know? Did he have a game plan?
I mean, Murphy knows me pretty well. He caught me actually in 2017 with the Oakland A's, so he knows what kind of pitcher I am, and he had a pretty good plan of because I think he caught he caught my first start against San Fran, and I mean, yeah, I don't think it's a secret that I'm a off speed kind of guy, and I mean I'm going to throw it and try to get you to swing at it. So I mean it was pretty evident of what I was going to throw, and I just had to put it in the right locations for them to you know swing and miss or get a weak contact.
Yourself some credit now, Grant. You're still pumping 95, 96 now. That's legit.
Yeah, well, I mean it's that's just adrenaline.
I need that adrenaline rush.
How was the adrenaline going out for that game? I bet you couldn't contain it.
It was unbelievable, especially when I started striking guys out. And I started to get a
Oh
little
man.
numb, and I was like, "Whoa, this is really happening." And then I guess yeah, Pete got that little dinky hit in the right field, and then I guess Sterling Marte got a little smart. He was like, "All right, well, I'm not going to swing at anything because everything he's throwing is in the dirt. Swing and miss pitch and then they took me out, and Daysville came in and saved my butt.
Who is one teammate that you would pick? Um, are you familiar with the escape rooms?
Yes.
Who is one teammate you would pick to do the escape rooms?
Ooh,
And why?
and why? Oh boy.
And if you're gonna say Strider, say somebody else because we all know
Come
Strider's pretty
on.
smart.
I was just thinking that.
See?
Well, everybody's gonna say Strider.
He's an entertaining cat, man.
Man, I don't know. I feel like Schwellenbart probably wouldn't be that good at one. No hard feelings. I'm awful at them as well.
Me too.
I'd have to pick somebody that I know is going to carry the team.
I mean, you could pick Austin Riley. He would just run through the door like
Yeah,
Yeah.
without finding any
yeah.
clues.
Man,
Well, Grant could probably do that too. He's a pretty big dude.
Oh yeah.
I probably wouldn't do it. Chadwick Trump, he's pretty smart. He's really good at chess. So I mean, he's good at like figuring things out. So maybe he would be good.
Always the
Chadwick
catchers.
Trump.
It's always the catchers.
Yeah.
We had Ben Ingram on, and he picked Sale.
That would. I mean, he could definitely see everything with how tall he is. Yeah, I don't know. Sale. I mean, he might be sneaky smart. I mean, I didn't really, get to know him, but I feel like he might be good. Honestly, yeah. I have to get him. I might have to get him to go to an escape room with me, and we'll find out.
There you go.
I did one in Boston with my brother when he lived up there, and they had you had to find the keys, and the bathroom had like a cabinet above the toilet, and it was locked, and I pulled on the door, and there was just this big siren that just started going off, and they came over the intercom. They were like, "You can't open that without the key."
Oh, dude, let me turn on the light real quick. It's getting dark.
You should have just
So
told
you
him
just
that.
trying to cheat the whole thing.
Jeb, you should have just told him that, hey, I can open this, and I did open this, so I don't know what you want from me.
I win.
Let me know how to open it so I don't
Yeah.
break it.
Right.
Gosh, what is one or probably your favorite ballpark that you've played in so far?
Other than Truist, obviously.
Good answer.
Yankee Stadium was pretty cool.
Hmm.
Yankee Stadium, Minnesota was also really cool. I don't know. I just feel like Yankee Stadium was my first road trip. That was my first field I went to after making the debut. So I feel like that one kind of holds a little special place in my heart.
For sure.
Because it's Yankee Stadium. You got all the legends that have played there, and I pitched. I think I threw in a game there, faced Soto and Judge, and
How's
the
How'd you
leadoff
do?
guy. I forgot what his name was.
How'd you do? I can't
But-
remember.
Volpe?
Volpe, yeah. Yep. So I mean, I think that one holds a pretty special place, and it's a really cool park with I don't know what they call that thing in center field.
the Monument Park?
Yeah, that thing. That thing's pretty cool.
How are you feeling now that Soto's in the East?
I mean, I don't mind facing him.
That's what I'm talking about.
Gotta
That's
have
what
him
I'm
out.
talking
I
about.
love
He'll
that.
probably get me the next time, but it's. I feel like he's a fun hitter to face. With how good he is. I feel like it makes you focus a little bit, and bear down and throw your best stuff.
This is classic pitcher mentality, by the way, and I absolutely love it.
Love
Absolutely.
Well, I got one more for you, and then I'll turn it to these guys if they have anything, and then we got one fan question for you. But
Okay.
what's the hair routine, man?
The hair routine. It's not that extraordinary. I get in the shower and I condition it. I wash it. Sometimes it goes a little while without washing, unfortunately. But my conditioner is cleansing conditioner, so I don't have nasty, stinky hair. And then I have a conditioner, like a leave-in conditioner, moisturizer that I put in it, so it doesn't get all frizzy. And that's it.
I thought of another one. I'm sorry, but who would you say probably is the worst, like has the worst style or like worst taste on the team?
Oh, that's
God,
a
you're
good
getting me in
one.
trouble.
That's a good one.
Worst style. You know, all of those guys got some pretty good style. Honestly,
We've
there's
heard
not
about
there's
Ozuna.
not like a guy that's like, wow, that dude looks like a, I don't even know what, it's like why is he wearing that? But yeah, we don't have any like very big flashy guys that wears those, funny looking stuff like some of those big name players that I won't name.
We heard about Ozuna wearing the popcorn hat.
I didn't see that. I wish I would have. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like anybody's got bad style or bad taste. If anybody, probably me.
No,
I'm a one trick pony. Usually boots and jeans and a shirt
I
and a
love
hat.
it. I love it.
Man, you play for
Um,
Atlanta. If you're not wearing boots, jeans, and like a collared, button
Yeah,
up shirt, what are you doing?
that's
If,
you're not
if every,
wrong.
I'm sorry, I thought of another one. I know Atlanta. I know Atlanta does like the hitters and pitchers kind of facing each other. Who is one guy you are like kind of excited to face and like strike out, and maybe talk a little bit of smack to?
Oh boy. Um. Hmm. I'm not much of a big smack talker. If I strike you out, I kind of keep it quiet
Oh no,
unless you bring something up to me. Um. I don't know. I've never faced Acuna. I've never faced him. I faced Olson, obviously. I faced Murphy. I haven't faced Riley. I probably, heck, maybe Acuna. Why not?
heck
Hopefully, I
yeah.
don't have. Hopefully, I can face some minor league guys or something.
Well,
I got
Ryan,
one.
Jose, Ben, if y'all got anything.
I got one more question from me. So I know obviously pitchers stopped hitting back in 2021, I believe it was, or 2020. Um, if you could step in the batter's box and face one pitcher,
Oh,
who would it be and why?
Jesse Chavez.
Don't do coach
no,
like that. Come on now.
probably the who throws the slowest? Kyle Hendricks, maybe.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Rich
Kyle
Hill.
Hendricks or Rich. He's a lefty. I'm a lefty hitter. I don't want to say.
Oh,
Oh,
I
you're
didn't know that.
lefty.
Yeah.
See, just
Ooh.
just because you want to like pump out your chest a little bit, I was expecting you to say somebody like Chris Sale.
Heck,
Just a
Lefty, lefty, that slider, no thanks.
look, I've played catch with him. I don't want to hit it. Heck, I don't really want to play catch with it, much less try to hit it.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
But yeah, maybe I'd have to say Kyle Hendricks or somebody that throws a little bit straighter. Who's that Greinke?
Oh,
Greinke.
hey, if you'd have caught Granky like 10, 15 years ago, though, he
That'd have
wouldn't
been
ask.
yeah, that'd have been a no.
Jose, Ryan, y'all got anything?
Go ahead, Jose.
The only other question I had was after a start or during one of your non-start days, do you have any go-to hobbies?
Go to hobbies. I like collecting baseball cards, like old
Interesting.
baseball cards, like vintage cards. Um, I feel like I got into that this year because I had a little bit extra time. Um, yeah, collecting baseball cards is probably my hobby away from baseball. Well, I guess it's still baseball.
I
But
unfortunately
most of
don't have
these
any.
guys are dead, and so I don't have to really worry about them. Worry about the
I don't
value
have.
going.
I don't have any vintage, but I literally have this sitting on my desk right now. Just a little Austin Riley blue.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah, I
want to
just pulled the other day. I got some free packs from a card store back home,
Uh-huh.
and I pulled a Junior Caminero out of '99 signed rookie card.
Oh,
a nice
He's-
pull.
that's a good one right
Yeah.
there.
Blanco. What's his name from the Astros? What's his name? The Blanco, the guy that threw almost 2 no-hitters in a row.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Eric Getty?
I got
Ronell.
his same exact card, the green. Actually, I guess it's a green refractor. I don't know all the terms. But
Yeah.
out of 9, and then I've got a 1 of 10 Dylan Cease, the black. I guess it's called a black refractor.
Mhm.
So those are 3 good boxes there.
That's
Absolutely.
pretty sweet.
Absolutely.
Ryan,
All right, Grant, I gotta ask. All right.
Uh-oh.
So if because I gotta say if I'm healthy too, because I just got a knee surgery a year ago. So if you're healthy next off season, it's always been a dream of mine to hit against a big league pitcher. Can I get a round of live at bats? Can I get 4 at bats?
4?
4.
That's all you want?
I'll go as many as possible. I was just asking for 4.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I could definitely do that. It would have to be closer
Absolutely.
to spring training, though.
Yes, that's
But
fine.
once the season ends, it's done till about January.
Okay, so like next January,
End of January would be perfect. Yeah.
let's do that. I am so
Set it
down.
up.
2026 live ABs. I got a year to get ready, baby.
Make sure that knee's okay first. Now.
Absolutely.
You
do you
gotta
play?
go on a training
I might
arc
have to,
like
sign,
in
I might
Dragon
have
Ball
you to
Z.
sign a document saying if I hurt you, then you can't sue me.
Nah, I'm not gonna sue you. You ain't gotta worry about that. I ain't that shady.
Do you play the show?
I don't play video games.
Oh man.
Baseball
All
cards is my thing.
Well, we got one more fan question, and we'll let you get out of here. We know you got other stuff to do. The last question we got, it's a fan question. How does it feel to be the sexiest man alive?
Oh,
Not my words. This is a fan
Jam, don't you
question.
dare lie.
my wife would like that. I mean, I definitely am not the sexiest man, but I appreciate that comment, and I hope it was not a guy.
It was a burner account, so I don't know who it was.
Okay.
That's
There's
all
no
Twitter.
telling though.
We're all burners.
Yeah. Grant, thank you so much for taking the time. We really appreciate it. Good luck this year. We're rooting for you.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Anytime.
All right, we'll catch y'all on the next one.
All right.
Landed right on the shoulder.
Hawk tour.
Let's do it again.